I'm Lindsay Vermeyen, and welcome to this edition of the BSG Telescope. The COVID-19 pandemic has had severe implications on mental health, the workforce, and social dynamics. But ongoing research by BSG is illuminating just how disastrous these effects have been on parents, particularly mothers. The pandemic has only exacerbated the balancing act of managing work and home responsibilities, and kids' behavior challenges add yet another layer of increased stress for parents during this year in isolation. As of March 2021, 28% of American parents feel like they are struggling to keep up or falling behind in their day-to-day lives, with 31% of mothers feeling this way. The statistic is disheartening but unsurprising when we dig into the bigger picture. According to a recent Gallup poll, nearly 500,000 more women than men have left the workforce since the pandemic started. The Bipartisan Policy Center cites that 42% of mothers of children under 2 had left the workforce as of October. 43% of working mothers are worried about having to leave their jobs as a result of personal circumstances, compared to just 30% of working fathers. Unfortunately, it is unsurprising mothers are having to leave jobs more frequently than fathers, with 74% of mothers saying they do most of the day-to-day managing of their children, and more than 7 in 10 reporting they are primarily responsible for cooking or cleaning in the home, compared to only about 2 in 5 fathers. Mothers are bearing the brunt of the force when it comes to managing children at home, making it increasingly difficult for them to meet the responsibilities of the other parts of their lives, much less take care of their own well-being and mental health. With so much on their shoulders, mothers' mental health is struggling. 23% of mothers are very or extremely concerned about their own depression, and 31% about their levels of anxiety. Latinx parents are struggling even more, with 34% concerned about their levels of depression and 37% about their anxiety. 64% of mothers get less than an hour a day to themselves, and 1 in 5 report less than 15 minutes of alone time each day. Even fewer are able to participate in activities they consider self-care. When a third of parents consider running an errand by themselves to be self-care, it is clear parents need help. Not only are parents having to simply manage the time implications of children being at home, but they are also navigating both the immediate and long-term effects on children's mental health and well-being. 65% of parents say their kids' behavior has changed since the pandemic started, and nearly a third say their kids are moodier. When it comes to their kids' mental health, almost 1 in 5 parents say their kids are experiencing increased depression or anxiety. While a number of factors play into that, nearly half of parents say they're concerned about their kids spending too much time on screens. 30% of parents of high schoolers are concerned about their kids falling behind in school. 29% of toddler parents are worried about their kids not developing adequate social skills. And nearly 40% of tween parents are worried about their kids' lack of physical activity. And while schools are beginning to reopen, most mothers aren't yet convinced what we have is safe enough. 64% of women with children would not automatically send their kids to in-person learning if schools were to open tomorrow. And 65% of parents say it will take their kids at least several months for their behavior to return to normal after the pandemic is over. We know parents and children are struggling now, and the long-term implications of this pandemic are only beginning to be apparent. It will be crucial to continue to monitor and measure its effects in order to guide real policy change for the well-being of American mothers, fathers, caregivers, and children. Thanks for watching this episode of the BSG Telescope, and we'll see you next time.